I don't know about you, but I'm really tired of seeing all of those AI spreads on Pinterest. Today's one is beautiful at first glance, but if you have a look closer, the text doesn't make sense, the spines don't make sense, and you guys voted for this one to be recreated in real life, so let's get started. And I will preface with the fact that it literally took me 20 minutes to do this spread. So it's not even time consuming, it's not super elaborate, it's very simple, and there's no reason why you can't do it. I tried to be more logical with this one. There was a big box for favorite quotes of books, which didn't really make sense. Like, why would you put all of them in one very long, very tall box? So instead we're going to turn that into a reading tracker. To me it makes more sense to do a tracker, and it fits the page really nicely. So as you can see, I started with a tracker that I put on the inside of the page. And the reason I do this is very simple. Once you want to be filling it up, you do want your wrist to be on the notebook itself instead of on the table, so it's a bit more logical for me to do that, and then to put the different spines on the outside of the page. And there's no magic to it, it's literally just a bunch of lines that I drew in a pencil, and then I'm going to go again with my pen to be drawing. As you can see, I do the longer sides of the rectangle with the ruler, and then I'm going to go free-handed the corners to round them up a teeny tiny bit. It doesn't look super neat at the moment, but once we start putting the colors, it's going to be less obvious. And this is the time I start apologizing for the out of focus on the video. I really don't know what happens, but if you've been here for a while, you do know that my phone is dying a very slow death, so hopefully this will not happen again, but you will see a bit later the focus comes back on the page. To make sure the page isn't too rigid, I've been working on the different books, making them different heights and different widths, so we've got variety on the page and also in the colors that we're going to be starting in a minute. The original, if we can even call it this, had very stocky, almost square books going on. So because the page is so narrow, I've done it too, but I've tried to make them a bit more logical though. I have also decided to make the title way more easier for myself by just stamping the letters instead of doing some nice calligraphy, because you don't always have time to be doing some fancy titles. And now I'm going to be taking a page and putting it under the one I'm working with, and that is because I'm going to be using my Copic. I very obviously do not recommend using Copics because they are alcohol based and they're going to be bleeding like crazy, but in that case it's just for decoration and for showing how pretty something can be, so we'll just let it pass, okay? You can very obviously use color pencils instead, or watercolors, or any kind of highlighter you've got, but those are the most high quality ones I have, so that's what. The AI spread was only using different shades of browns and beige, but I'm going to be using a bit more colors here just to make it pop. I am still keeping those earth tones here with the greens and the browns, but I'm also going to be using some blues and some reds to add a bit of contrast and a bit of variety to my colors. So the first step is to go around and just color block all the different books. The idea is to have several books of the same colors with some details that change from one to the other to give them more life and more uniqueness. And the good thing with alcohol markers is that you can do several layers to deepen the color and to make it more vibrant if you want. So I'm going to be using that technique a little bit later to be adding more contrast and more details to each of. And at that point you may ask yourself, like, why is she making those kind of videos? And it is very simple. It's just because, one, I am very tired of seeing those on Pinterest. They are so annoying to me. And second of all is to show you that it's better to take inspiration from real people doing real spreads that actually make sense on paper. Last time I just did a copy-paste almost of the spread, but this time I'm making it my own, because otherwise it doesn't work, it doesn't make any kind of sense. And unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of months, you know that AI is just stealing from artists and just taking everything and using it as data, which I am completely. So not only is this sprite making absolutely no sense, but also it is just stealing from other accounts and other people who like to journal, which is absolutely. So instead, I'm showing you that you can be doing everything on your own very easily and very simply if you have a bit more imagination, which you do because you are human and you will always have more imagination and more creativity than a computer. And finally, it is to show you that if you're taking inspiration from these spreads, it just doesn't work, and you do need to be working around the AI issues to actually have something that you can use on a daily basis. So if you like that kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe. I put some surveys in the community page once in a while to see which ones you guys are interested in, and this one was actually the first. Now going back to the actual content, as you can see, I'm taking some colors that are a bit deeper and darker, and I'm going to go and add all those details on the spines. I use some pictures of old libraries and old books to be using as inspiration and to get an idea of what I'm working with. And those photo references were also taken from Pinterest, but in that case, actual real pictures. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to be layering up the different colors to give it a bit more texture, a bit more details. And I'm going to go with different colors on different spines to keep to the same tones and make sure everything flows nicely. Which is why that horrible pinkish one is going to be disappearing very, very quickly under layers of more red, because I took it first and then I realized it was terrible and absolutely not matching the vibes I was going for. I'm also adding some illustrations to some of the spines, like very old books, and I'm not really caring about the details. We're mostly going for vibes here, so we do not need a lot of details and a lot of very intricate decoration. And now that it's actually taking shape, we can clearly see how poppy the blues and the reds are compared to the more earth tones of the browns, the greens and the beiges, which I really like. But if you want to have a more desaturated look, you can use less colors and only stick to colors from the same family. So brown and beige would be perfect in that case. And really, you could just stop there at this point and it would already look beautiful and coherent. But I'm going to go and I'm going to add more details to each of the spines. And I'm going to be using some Sharpies and some pens from Stradler, I think, metallic brushes. And the way it works is they are all metallic and they sparkle a tiny bit, which gives nice little detail. So the way I'm using those is to add titles or authors on each of the spines to make it look a bit more real. Except is teeny tiny, so I'm just going to be writing some squiggles everywhere to make it look like it's written, but you can't really, and that is more than fine. As always, we are not looking for perfection here, we are mostly looking for vibes and for beauty. And I'll be honest, some of those I used were not the greatest. My silver one in particular is a Sharpie because the other one died and it's awful. And this one I'm using right now on the reds is way too dark and I did not like it at all. My favorite one from this lot is the one that is, I think, bronze. I do have a gold one, but the gold is very yellowy and the bronze is a bit more orange and it looks beautiful. I love to use that. And same thing here for this blue purple one. I probably should have swatched this before because I do not like it at all, especially on those beige covers, but here we are and we're just going to accept that it's not always perfect. Which is something I do struggle with when it comes to journaling, but I'm trying to let it go now. And at that point we are pretty much done. I'm just going to be using my eraser to get rid of the pencil And as you're going to be able to see in just a second, the bleeding on that page is absolutely awful. So I'm just doing it because it's pretty, but I do not recommend that at all on a normal journal. And we're going to be finishing with some stickers and washi tape for decoration. Those stickers are from Notebook Therapy. They are from their Light Academia washi, and I just love them because they are super teeny tiny but so cute. And I'm also going to be using washi tape that I think I just got from Amazon, I'll be honest with you, just for a little pop of color at the top and bottom of the page. And with this, we are done with this page. Like I said, only 20 minutes and looks better than any computer could ever make. So have a look, tell me what you think, and then I will see you next time.